Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be this fun watch me work under the sea nail set. So I am starting off with a bunch of different polishes, and I'm going to start off by doing some ombre work. So as soon as I finish showing all the different colors that I'm using for all the detail work, I'm going to start off by doing some ombre nails. So I'm starting with this like brownie nude color. I kind of thought that going with like a nude that was a little bit more brownish in tone would kind of like represent sand a little bit, so it kind of like mimics that coloring. And I am doing my two nails over here, so my index finger and my ring finger, with the this like tealy blue color. And this is a potted gel, as you can see, so it's very pigmented and very thick, so doing an ombre with it requires a little bit more blending, because it doesn't want to blend as seamlessly with the thinner gel polish that is the brown color that I used, that like a thinner gel polish would like blend nicely with. So it just kind of takes a little bit of work, and you can see I'm wiping off my ombre brush periodically between doing the blending, because it picks up a lot of that thick gel polish, the potted one. So just take your time when you're doing ombres. And of course, here I am doing the second layer, and the second layer of an ombre always finishes up the look and makes it look really, really great. And because this potted gel is so pigmented and so rich in color, you really don't need a lot of it. So it's just a matter of blending it nicely to how you like it, and making sure that everything is seamless, and wiping off your brush a lot in between so that it doesn't like pick up too much of the gel and spread it too far where you don't want it. And then after that, I'm just going to make sure that I don't have any gel on my skin before going to cure it. We definitely don't want to be curing any gel on our skin. And then for the middle nail, I'm going to just do the full teal, because we're going to actually be doing chrome on top of this. So just going to do, I think I end up doing just 2 layers. It's really not necessary to do 2, because I was doing chrome over it, but I really wanted the chrome to have like a very nice opaque base to go on top of. And then for my pinky and my thumb, I'm going to do an ombre as well, and I'm going to ombre between the same brown nude as before and white. So this is a much easier ombre, because the colors are much closer together, so the lighter colors, brown and white, are just closer in tone to brown and blue. And also because the white is also like a thinner gel polish as opposed to the thick potted gel, it blended a lot nicer. But this is just a basic ombre. Again, nothing too complicated over here. I'm just trying to build up the base of what I want the set to be. So just kind of a little background detailing before we get into all of the nail art. So while I'm doing my thumb ombre over here, I just want to remind you, if you are watching, if you're new here, welcome. I am almost close to 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube, which is absolutely wild to me. And I do plan on doing a fun little giveaway when I reach that milestone, because it's just so crazy. I didn't think I'd ever get to that point, to this point, and it's pretty nuts. So if you are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that we can reach that goal, and also so that you can qualify to partake in the giveaway, so that you can enter the giveaway and potentially win. And over here again, just making sure that I keep wiping off the gel polish before going in and curing. And now this potted gel over here it looks like it's very pink in the container, but it's actually very, very sheer with just like a bit of pink and blue sparkle. So I wanted to add just a little bit of like shimmer, just a little something to the nails, and just add more to the background. So I'm going to apply that just to these 2 blue and brown ombre nails, because these are the 2 that are going to have like the underwater detailing, and I just wanted a little bit of something special. And now I'm going to go in and top coat all of these, because I'm going to be doing some hand painted nail art. I realized afterwards I didn't actually have to go in and do a matte top coat over the middle nail, because I'm going to be doing a chrome over that anyway, which I need like a shiny top coat for to accomplish that goal. So it was a little bit unnecessary to do that, but it was just kind of like I was in the mindset of just, oh, I gotta matte my nails so that I can do some nail art. So I did that, but maybe a little unnecessary, but not a problem, because I ended up having to go do a different top coat for the chrome anyway. So now I'm going to be doing some hand-painted nail art. So I'm just taking some of these colors over here, these bright pinks and oranges and this green, and placing it down on a palette and going to go in with this tiny fine little detail brush and creating some little corals. So I want to make sure that I definitely pulled in a coral, which is this bright orange over here, definitely like a corally color. And I mean, there's no wrong way to do this. This is like one of my favorite kinds of like nail art when it comes to naturey things like leaves, trees, coral, stuff like that. There's no wrong way to do it because every piece of coral, every tree, every branch, every leaf looks different. So there's no way to get it wrong. You just kind of have to guesstimate a little bit, maybe have a reference photo or something. But I mean, coral is pretty easy. It just has a little bit of like a stem or a stalk or a base where it's connected into the bottom of the ocean and then just got a little, you know, arm sticking out of it, and there's no way to do it wrong. And then I added some green. I wanted to add a little bit of seaweed to kind of throw in there, just add a bit more color. And of course, how you want to place this, how detailed you want to get with it is completely up to you. That is totally like a personal design choice. So I didn't want it to get too crowded, so I just stuck with doing like one of each color on the nail. But I mean, because the nail is quite small, it does fill in really nicely. Initially, I was actually this idea. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Initially, my thought process for this nail set was going to be very different. I actually had some really cute nail foils that had really cute little cartoon fish on it, and my initial plan was to do like a cute little like cartoon fish nail set. But the images on the foil were so much larger than I realized that when I started to like kind of like place them over my nail in kind of like preparation for design, just kind of like, while it was still on the foil, it was just kind of like to gauge like how I wanted to plan out the design. I realized that they were too big. Oh, just getting back to the nails for a second, I'm adding some cute little bubbles with a little dotting tool to just add a little bit of detail, and now going in with the chrome. So what I do is I use a shiny top coat and I cure it for 10 seconds. I know a lot of people say when you're doing chrome to cure it for half the time, like cure the top coat for half the time that the instructions say. So that would be like 30 seconds if your top coat needs to be cured for 60, but I find that it doesn't really apply as well. 30 seconds is almost like a little too long. So I only cure it for 10 seconds, and I get the best application that way. And then I am going to encapsulate all of the nails. So actually when I was working on these nails, they were really thin. I had just finished doing a backfill. I removed my previous set, like I brought it down a little bit, did a backfill, and now I'm encapsulating this whole set. And for me, I've just been finding that encapsulating my nails has worked a lot better for just how I do nails. I found before when I didn't do that, my nails would end up a lot thicker than I expected, and I ended up having to do a lot of filing. And somehow when I do like like my design and then encapsulated over it as the structure, I've just come away with much cleaner, smoother nails. For this set, I didn't even have to file after doing the clear coat because it just applied so much nicer and it was nice and smooth. And also, if you're having trouble with your chrome or even foils chipping, because I know sometimes like chrome can like chip so easily, even foils will sometimes, no matter how many times you top coat it, can sometimes just like chip away really easily. I find that encapsulating them gives them a much thicker, larger, stronger protection base over the nail. So for chromes and foils, if you're finding that they're chipping or you're not, you know, they're not lasting as long as you would hope, try doing like an encapsulation layer over them, because just that thicker blanket of product keeps them intact a lot better. So going back to my story of how this set did not turn out the way I initially planned, while I'm just finishing off my encapsulated nails over here, like I said, I found these really cute little cartoon fish, and I had wanted to do those, but the images were just so large, and I realized that my nails are they're just smaller than the nails that I do nail art on, like the tips that I use for when I'm just doing nail art. Those I use like the biggest size that I can find, like size 0, and I typically recently I've been using nail tips from Home of Nail Art, Hona. So the fish would have fit perfectly fine on those nails, but like my actual nails are much smaller than those, and I realized that like I wouldn't have been able to fit the whole image on my nail, and it would have gotten cut off, or I would have only been able to use like small little fish that didn't have details. So I ended up scrapping that idea, but I was still in the mindset of like wanting to do like an under the sea, underwater ocean nail set, especially as we're going into summer. And I was just like, because I was already in that zone, I decided to keep going with it and ended up going for more of like a coral and seaweed under the sea nail set, as opposed to doing the cute little fish that maybe I'll do like a nail art set with like on tips as opposed to on my nails, so that I can actually have room to apply those foils, because it was not going to fit. But anyway, that's my little story of how this nail set came about. It was definitely not what I initially planned for today. And now on my thumb and my pinky, I'm going to be doing a matte top coat, because I'm going to be doing some 3D nail art with Rhinestone Glue, and I find that it just works a lot better on a matte surface. I don't know why I didn't matte this chrome nail. I should have, but I just didn't think about it. And I'm going to be doing that 3D like shell kind of design that I see all over social media right now. And let me tell you, this design, I mean, it didn't come out as great as so many people on the internet. I am definitely not as talented as so many other people, but it did not come out as well as I expected. This, I just showed you my one go at it when I was finally like okay with how it turned out, but I think I must have done like 10, maybe even 15 tries at it. I don't know where I was going wrong with this whole 3D style of like shell style of nails, like this whole concept. I don't know if I was using too much rhinestone gel. I don't know if I was using the wrong kind of brush that was applying too much. I'm not really sure where I went wrong, but let me tell you, that was a complicated design. It took me a long time to get that right. And on the pinky nail over here, I'm just going to be doing some pretty pearls, kind of like a string of pearls that you might find in an oyster or in a clam. What is it? Is it oysters or clams that have pearls in them? Or is it both? Let me know. So I figured, you know, just add a little bit of something fun, and under the sea, you definitely find jewels and gems and pearls. So I decided to just add a little bit of that kind of detailing on my nails here. I was having fun with some of the crystals and gems that I was using. I haven't done like that kind of stuff on my nails personally in quite a while. So it was fun to just add some like pearls, gems, charms, that kind of thing. So on the thumb, again, I did this like shell 3D style design. Definitely not as great as I was hoping it would have come out, but at some point after doing it, like I'm not joking, like 15, 20 times, I kept wiping it off and redoing it. At some point, I just kind of was like, okay, good enough is good enough. I just have to accept that this is my first time trying it. I'll get better at it. I'll keep practicing and it'll get better, but I was just going to keep going forever with that. And like, I didn't have all that time. So at some point I just said, okay, this is good enough. And then I cured it for 10 seconds and went in with this chrome to just add a bit of shiny detail, and then adding some little charms and pearls to the base of this nail here. And I don't show me doing my right hand with my left hand because, I mean, it's a bit tedious to watch, and I did the same thing. And doing ombres and all of the hand painted nail art and stuff with my left hand was tedious, and I didn't feel like it was necessary to watch. But I forgot to do the chrome on my other thumb. So with the shell detailing, I did the chrome over it, as you saw, and I forgot to do that on my right thumb. And I only realized after I'd finished the whole set, after I'd cured everything, after I top coated and placed all my crystals and beads and everything, and to have to go back and do the chrome, I would have had to take everything off and start over, and risk ruining all of the detail work that I did under. So I decided to just deal with it, even though they don't really match. But you'll see here at the end when I show the whole set together, the two thumbs, one of them has the chrome and the other one doesn't. So I guess you can let me know which one you think is better. I think the one that's missing chrome is just missing a little bit of sparkle. I do wish I would have remembered, but I forgot about it and it was too late to go back. So this is the final set. I do love how it came out. It definitely wasn't what I had initially planned, but I think it's super pretty and I think it's super fun. So let me know what you think of the set, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!